All tricks, no treats in the Medicare space.
What could it be? What could it be? Oh, hi there. It's my birthday. I'm Christian Brindle.
Area 51, 100%. I'm in. There's alien technology that we have, that we've been trying to recreate. The government's been lying about this one for a long time.
All right, everybody. Welcome back in to another episode of the 7 Figures or Bust podcast, the #1 podcast in the world for growing your insurance business, episode 163. I'm Christian Brindle, joined with Glenn Shelton as always. And we have a doozy of a show for you today. I feel like I say that every day, but that's because every single show is a freaking doozy, my friends.
Look at this, you guys. Look at the branding today.
Yes.
Oh, the water tastes so good out of here, too. It's incredible.
I hope you enjoy that because we didn't have enough for me.
Good. I'm going to enjoy it even more knowing that you don't have one.
We can only order them in minimum orders of 40. Ridiculous.
Okay, bro. I've got to tell you this on the pod. Have an idea for an ad for 7-figure CRM. And every time I take my son to the gym, I think about it. Have you seen those automatic ball rebounders?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're a little pricey. They're like probably $5,000-$6,000 or more.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, you shoot, catches the ball, passes it back to you. And what I think about every time I see it, if you guys haven't seen these before, again, imagine, I feel like I should just pull up like a little video here really fast. Because I just feel like this is the perfect analogy, right? Do you already know where I'm going with this?
No, I can't say that I do.
Good. I like it. I don't want you to know where I'm going.
A little mystery in the marriage is fun.
Oh, I'm going to die. I'm going to choke and die here. Okay. Little miss. Okay. Share screen. Shabing. Shaboom.
Bada bing,
right.
Bada boom.
Can you see my screen, sir?
I can.
Okay.
If you're looking for the best basketball shooting machines, here's a list you must see. We made this list based on our personal preferences, sorted based on their features, prices, durability, and reputation of the manufacturers and customer feedback. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. So let's get started.
This is like the nice one. These are like the cheap ones.
At the first position.
Hang on, guys. Hang on.
Are you saying we lost our monetization for the wrong video?
Okay. This is what I'm looking for. Can you see it now? You see this?
Yeah, it's super laggy. It's like
super laggy. So gives you the concept though. So the whole point of this.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. About with these.
So the whole point, if you're shooting by yourself, right? You're doing your own practice shots. You spend so much time rebounding your own ball, right?
Totally. Chasing it all over the place. When I was in high school, I played on the high school basketball team for my school, for those of you that don't know. Fun little fact. And I would practice in my driveway, and the ball would go everywhere. In like other people's yards, like in cellars. I almost got abducted a few times. It really was a problem. So this would have been a godsend for me.
Exactly. So freaking still dying from your mystery in the marriage comment. So, you know, the efficiency of these machines where it will catch your rebound and shoot the ball back to you so you're not chasing. I think about the analogy of 7-figure CRM, right? you can take paper leads, chase all these leads down yourself. I don't know if I'm going to survive.
Do you need me to fill in there? Do you need me to take the baton?
Again, that's how I got started, right? And I think you very similar start for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of manual dialing, a lot of chasing leads, not a lot of organization. Still can get the job done, but there's a lot of extra manpower that goes into it. If you have something in place like a CRM, like 7-figure CRM, where everything's right there, it's organized, and it's feeding it right back to you, right? You have these automations, and every time I see that automatic rebounding machine, the increase in efficiency, I'm not going to survive.
I think I know where you're going with this. Maybe I take over for just a few seconds. So,
I'm going to mute myself while I cough this out.
Feel free to die, unmute, and I'll take over for a second. So, yeah, I think, what Glenn's trying to say is, having a great system that provides you organization, spits leads back out at you, right? Like your leads can dump right into them no matter where your leads might be coming from. And then, of course, it helps automate it. It's not going to completely replace your need to reach out to the leads, to work those leads, but it will help get in contact with your leads with additional touch points like automations, emails, for those of you that are daring, ringless voicemails. Again, I do what you will. It is Halloween. It gets a little scary. Med Supp Awareness Month in October, but
that's right.
but yeah, no, I understand the analogy, right? It just it's the same as spitting the ball back out to you, so you can just shoot.
Long-winded. God, I don't know what. Christian killed me, you guys.
I must have.
One comment bullseyed me. My guess is, like, when I do the math, it's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 5 to 6 times more efficient. Like, you're going to get 5 to 6 times more shots per hour than if you had to shoot and chase your ball down every single time. And using a CRM system like 7-figure CRM, it's that same type of efficiency game where, like, you're going to most likely be able to speak to and present to 5 to 6 times more prospects than if you were doing all of this manually yourself. It's so much wasted time. Mm-hmm. So my dream is an ad, almost like a Nike or Gatorade style ad, right? It could be you. You could be our star. I know you love to get in front of the camera. You're shooting, you're chasing your ball down. There's a voiceover. It's like, "Are you tired of all the wasted time?" You're like, "Where's my ball?" Be more efficient using technology. And then it's just you. Boom. Boom. Just do it.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. I think it's a great analogy, right? I think, and as Dan commented, this subject's so important it has you all choked up.
It's near and dear to my heart. Okay.
I wanted to talk a little bit just to remind you guys, we have a Med Supp topic for you guys today.
Yes.
High deductible Med Supp plans, friend or foe. I was typing that out and snickering to myself, like literally, because I just thought that was the funniest title I've ever typed or put in for anything. Because if it's going to be your foe, but anyway, we're going to be having a lot of Med Supp related topics throughout the month of October, because if you didn't catch yesterday's show, October is Medicare Supplement Awareness Month, where we're on a mission to save the Supps. I mean, if you didn't catch our very important message, you will see it. I guarantee every agent in the country will see it, because we're blanketing it in ads. So
all the way down to the Florida Keys.
Yes, all the way down to the Florida Keys. Yes. So Now, what are we doing to help save the Supps? Well, the kind of transition is into this episode's sponsor, right? Like, we're discounting our exclusive real-time double verified, if I'm allowed to say that, Medicare supplement leads from $40 a pop to $19 with a minimum order of $30.
Yes.
Which is fantastic, right? Like, save the Supps, you guys. There's Supps out there that
Supps
need to find homes. It's like saving the whales, saving an endangered species. We've been talking a lot this year on the show about having a Med Supp funeral potentially begrudgingly. We might not have to do that if you guys help us save the Supps, and you can do so with $19 Med Supp leads. Write some Medicare supplement business. It's a great AEP to do so. So save the Supps. Lead heroes, you guys. $19 leads.
Premiums are going up all the time. You know, if someone's been on Medicare with a Medicare supplement plan for 2-3+ years, chances are they could switch to a plan with the same benefits and save money. So you can do, you know, this beneficiary a huge service, right? They're on a fixed income, most likely. You can save them a ton of money, and they're going to love you for life. You know, when you can come in, and one of the best transactions, not to mention from a cross-selling point of view, you guys, you're opening the door wide open when you come in like that. You're a hero. You save them a bunch of money. Now they might be interested in taking some of those savings and putting it into a final expense plan, into a cancer plan, into a dental vision hearing plan, like all these other ancillary products that you can offer. So I'm super excited about Medicare Supplement Awareness Month. Like Christian said, save the Supps. Honestly, I kind of want you to show the video again, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Should we do the video again?
I think you should absolutely.
Yesterday,
I love how you say it like you're not sure. like should we?
I think we should. The video that we showed yesterday was the video with the letters, but several of you have not yet seen the video with the animals. So I'm thinking maybe that's the one that we show to you guys. Let me just pull it up here really quickly. That really kind of, I believe, accurately portrays our messaging of saving the Supps in a really big way. All right, I'm looking for it. Hang on. There's so many videos.
Yeah, we're running a couple variations of this ad. So if you're seeing our paid ads, you might see the animals, you might just see the letters. We kind of had an internal debate about what we thought was best. So we wanted to kind of put together a couple variations of our primary Save the Supps Medicare Supplement Awareness ad. So we'll give you guys a little sneak peek at the animal version. Many of you said, why can't you use the song "In the Arms of an Angel"? Because we Christian, that's so funny. We copyright, guys. We can't use music without permission. That's why we had to use this different song.
That's right. Okay, so here's our other alternative version of our message that it's important to us that you guys see and that everybody sees about saving Medicare supplement for Med Supp Awareness Month. So without further ado, here we go. This alternative version with animals instead of letters.
Hi, I'm Christian Brindle. Will you be a savior for a Medicare supplement plan this AEP? Every single year, countless Medicare supplement plans find themselves without a home. You can make a difference. Medicare supplement for years has been a depreciating market share product with the Medicare community. But if you call the number on the screen today, you can get $19 Medicare supplement leads and find a home for a helpless Medicare supplement who just wants to make a difference. Like I said, call the number on the screen and save a Medicare supplement in need this AEP by buying $19 Medicare Supplement leads for Medicare Supplement Awareness Month. Will you be a savior for a Med Supp today?
Poor letters.
Oh, it's
Never
so
gets
good.
old. Never gets old.
I've probably seen both variations 25 times by now. And,
yeah, same.
And they're very funny. They're both very funny.
Yes.
I'm starting to see some comments on various different platforms on the animal version of it. They're like, this is wild. Like the rooster, the chicken, or whatever it is.
The rooster, the rooster is wild. the idea that's like save the rooster. It's like, hi, I'm Christian Brindle.
And if you don't watch this show, you won't hear me say this, but if you don't watch this show, you're gonna see these ads in October. We're making it a priority.
It's super important. And you know, there's a lot of things we want to pick apart as we're going through Medicare Supplement Awareness Month, and you're going to see some of it on leadheroes.com. We're going to have a blog series that we're launching. There will be a daily update, kind of a little tiny piece of a deep dive into a subject on Medicare Supplement. We're going to be talking about, you know, networks as an example in today's blog article. So you can follow along on Lead Heroes. You can follow along here on the podcast. We'll be highlighting Med Supp a ton this month. And yeah, get those Med Supp leads, you guys. It's time.
$19. I mean, you're not going to do better than that, right? And for the level of verification these go through before they get to you is crazy. So they're great quality, everything else in between. So get those $19 Med Supp leads while you can.
Yes, sir.
As I sneeze.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's jump into the main topic at hand, and that is high deductible Medicare supplement plans. Are they friend or foe? Where do you want to start with this? Where do you want to start with high deductible Med Supp plans? Maybe we should start with, like, for those of you that aren't as Med Supp savvy, what are they? Should we start there?
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start, because I honestly think that a lot of people a lot of agents still probably don't know what these plans are. Like, high deductible, what is this? I also think what's going to be interesting about this topic is I think the tides have shifted a bit on it. I feel like early on there wasn't as big of an audience for high deductible Medicare supplement plans, but now I feel like a lot more agents are in favor. So take it away, sir. Give us a definition. What is a high deductible Medicare supplement plan?
Yeah, so a high deductible Medicare supplement plan. So let's say there's been several different variations of these over the years. And some of you might call me out after this episode because you might produce receipts of me talking about how I don't like these plans. Because they're out there. For those of you internet detectives, you want to find it, I know exactly where it is. I'm not going to help you.
Cancel Christian. Cancel Christian right now.
So if you looked at those at that point in time, I might have said foe. And I'll kind of explain why my stance has changed. I would definitely say friend today.
Okay.
When I put out content about high deductible Med Supp plans in the past, and I'll explain what they are in a second here. I'm going somewhere with this. I was not a big fan of them initially, because here's what my thought process was. At that point in time, certainly not in every market, but 5 years ago or so, 6 years ago or so, Med Supp plans were not nearly as inflated premium-wise as they are today in many markets, right? Like, there was a lot of markets where a Plan G was relatively affordable. A Plan N was relatively affordable. And while there was a savings on the premium side on a Med Supp for a high deductible plan, the argument was also like, I think I'd rather have a Medicare Advantage plan than a high deductible Med Supp plan. And so my stance has kind of shifted because Medicare Advantage plans going into the new year, let's face it, right? Benefits are kind of pulling back in a multitude of different ways on a lot of different plans. Not to say they're bad plans by any means. They're still phenomenal. For any of you that have ACA coverage like me, and like Glenn, I haven't seen his plan. I probably should take a look. But for
mystery in the marriage. There's mystery over here in this marriage.
But for any of you that are on ACA plans, probably pick the worst Medicare Advantage plan in the country, and it will be better than your ACA plan. So like Medicare Advantage plans are fantastic plans still, but their benefits are pulling back a little bit. Copays are up a little bit. Max out of pockets are up a little bit on a lot of plans. Ancillary benefits are cut a little bit on a lot of plans. Some on a lot. Some on some plans a lot. And Med Supp regular plan Gs, plan Ns, plan Fs to a lesser degree have seen the rates kind of spike a little bit. Rate increases spike a little bit. So I think high deductible plans make a lot more sense than they used to, in my personal opinion. I was not early on a believer in the high deductible plans, but I think there's a place for them. I think for the right member that can understand them, they can work. So anyway, I say that to say, what is a high deductible Med Supp plan? They've been around as long as I've been around in this space, right? So kind of started out with high deductible F. Then high deductible G became kind of a thing. Now we have Physicians Mutual that has the innovative plan G, which is kind of like a hybrid of a high deductible plan G and a regular plan G that's patented, only they have it. So they kind of have like the best of both worlds in a lot of cases. But the idea is, let's say high deductible plan G, for example. High deductible plan G is a regular plan G, works the same in every way, except for it has a large deductible that's placed on that's the member responsibility on what the Med Supp is going to pay. So this is where there's a lot of confusion points, right? Because when you have a Med Supp, Medicare's primary, the Medicare supplement is secondary. So Medicare pays their portion before the Med Supp ever steps in. So the high deductible portion of it is only on the secondary aspect of things. So Medicare is still coming in and paying their Medicare cost sharing without the high deductible ever needing to be satisfied. It's only on the 20% or anything that the Med Supp would pay as a secondary to where the high deductible applies. So for next year, 2026, they haven't actually released the official numbers on what the actual high deductible number will be, but it's projected to be $3,000. Every year, Medicare, CMS puts out projections of Medicare Part B premiums, Medicare Part B deductible, high deductible plans deductible, and then they put out the real numbers a couple months later, which I'm like, don't put the projection out.
Like, how dare you? It's
just stupid.
How dare you?
It's like here's what we think it's going to be, but it's going to be slightly different potentially. Like that's usually what it is. The high deductible in 2025 currently, the time of recording this, is $2,870. So the idea is once that deductible's met, then you have the coverage in that calendar year of a traditional Plan G, where you're still responsible for the Medicare Part B deductible, and then you have full Medicare coverage, medical coverage after that, right? So that's basically the idea of a high deductible Medicare supplement Plan G, right? It's the same plan as the regular Plan G, just slap a $2,870 deductible in 2025, estimated to be $3,000 next year deductible on the secondary cost sharing before the plan will pay for anything. So
talk to me about the premium difference, because this is a big part of it, right? Typically, these high deductible plans have a much lower premium for the actual Medicare beneficiary. Give me, you don't necessarily have to pull up exact quotes, but if you were to ballpark like a Plan G versus a high deductible Plan G, what would you say roughly the difference looks like?
It is kind of an interesting kind of thing, because it does definitely depend on the market for sure. Some markets, it's going to be more of a vast price difference than others. I know you said I didn't have to pull up a quote engine, but I think I might anyway.
Yeah, baby. Give me the exact numbers down to the pennies on this quote. We need those.
To give you guys an idea. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen into the magical CSG actuarial.
Wow.
So let's look. Give me a zip code. Let's do Florida. Where I used to live. Hillsborough County, where Christian Brindle used to live. So let's say a regular Plan G, right? For a female who's turning 65, regular Plan G.
Yeah.
No household discount, no non-tobacco rate. Okay, so we all understand the terms here. What's at stake?
Medium rare, please.
So a female Plan G rate in this area code is going to be essentially $200 and up, right?
Okay.
Now, if we want to look at rate increases, we can see that as well. Sometimes a little bit misleading because certain carriers bring in different blocks of business, grandfather old blocks away. You don't see those in these actual numbers because it's a different block of business. Only shows you open blocks. But anyway, you can kind of see an idea of the rate increases in that area. You can see the market share data on this side. Typically, it's always a year behind, which is funny. But anyway, you kind of get an idea, right? $200 a month and up in this area. So if we were going to switch that to high deductible G, it goes down to as low as 52.
Whoa.
Now, the big argument for high deductible plans also is that because there's the high deductible, the client thinks twice before they go use it. And in theory, you see lower rate increases. I don't know if I've ever seen that to be true on a wide scale. As you can see, like this one right here, 11.2. Don't think that's great. And I've seen plenty of situations in markets where high deductible plans went up just as much as other plans, but I've also seen some cases where they go up less. So I don't think it's a blanket statement by any means. People have always tried to say certain plans have lower rate increases than others, right? There was this narrative being pushed for years. Back in like 2018, 19, 2020, 2021, the Plan N had lower rate increases than Plan G. But there's a lot of carriers where N goes up more than G, right? So like, and other carriers where they're the same. So that's certainly not true on the broad spectrum of
even
things.
If it's the same, though, the gross amount, let's say it's a 10% premium increase, on a $50 plan versus a $200 plan. I mean, you're talking about still paying 4 times more gross revenue as a consumer on that increase. So, I think that premium difference is massive. I honestly, I thought it was going to be closer than that. I didn't realize a potential 80%
now
in cost savings.
This might not be the case everywhere, right?
True.
It's gonna the premium differences might not be as steep in every single market, but like in this market in particular, it's certainly something to be talked about if somebody wants a Med Supp plan. Now, this market also in particular is a Medicare Advantage strong point. So when you look at the benefits that the Advantage plans will have in a market like this that I'm looking at, probably doesn't make sense to do any Med Supp plan for the vast majority of people, right? Because you have just sick gangster Medicare Advantage plans. They're like John Gotti, these Medicare Advantage plans, right? Except for they get away with it.
Oh God.
So like, I'll look at one other really, really quickly. Let's look at our home state.
Is high deductible Plan N? Is that a thing?
It is not. There is no such thing.
Okay, I didn't think so, but I wanted to ask.
So, Med Supp in our home state, right? There's some that are low as $110 for a female turning 65. for a regular Plan G. So kind of get an idea here, right?
Yeah.
Let's say on average 120 to 150 to 160, whatever metric you want to look at, right? So a little bit lower. High deductible. As low as 29.
That's crazy.
With good old Philly Ameri. Philly Ameri.
So what do you feel like the best fit prospect for a high deductible plan looks like? In my mind, I'm picturing someone who's healthy. Maybe they aren't planning on using their insurance as much, and maybe they are on more of a fixed income, and at the same time they don't have Medicare Advantage options because they don't have the networks near them. I'm a great example of this. I was just talking to my son's basketball coach who's a senior, and we're talking about his plan. He's on a United Healthcare plan. And I was like, and at first I was like, oh, is that an Advantage plan? And I was like, wait a second. I'm like, there are no Advantage plans where I am because there's no networks out here. Mm-hmm. So this could, my area as an example would be potentially a great market. And there's more than markets like my local area out there where, if a senior needs something that is on a more of a fixed income, they need a smaller budget for that premium. I feel like a healthy senior would be a great fit for a high deductible plan. Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, I think definitely the characteristics I would look at for a high deductible candidate would definitely be healthier, right? Because if they're an unhealthy person and they're most certainly going to hit that $3,000 deductible, that probably isn't great, right? Because like if you do the math, right? Let's say, what did we estimate before? Let's just say we'll be conservative, right? $120 a month difference, $100 a month difference in premium from a regular G to a high deductible G. In some of those examples, some areas were more, of course. But let's just be conservative. Let's say 100. You're looking at a $1,200 premium savings every year. But if you're guaranteed to hit that deductible, you're in the red, right? If you're guaranteed to pay out that estimated $3,000 next year in 2026, you're better off paying that extra premium. And so, healthy's, I think, a huge element of this. I also think smarter helps because with an Advantage plan, it's predictable on most things. With a regular Med Supp, it's very predictable, right? Like a Plan G, you pay your Medicare Part B deductible one time a year. You have full coverage after that. It's very predictable. Plan F is even more predictable for those that still qualify for it. There's no out-of-pocket on Medicare-approved charges. Advantage plans have set copays that they get used to. They pay over and over and over again, right? There's a set specialist copay. Doesn't change. There's a set emergency. Doesn't change. There's a set urgent care copay. It doesn't change. But a high deductible plan, did I freeze for a sec?
You did for a second there. I got your audio though.
Okay. A high deductible plan, things will change because it's the cost sharing that's going towards the max at the deductible, right? It could be a myriad of different charges that they see. And so it's going to be relatively confusing for that Medicare beneficiary. That's the uphill battle of it. And so you need somebody that is a little bit of a sharper client. We've all met with those clients where we're like, I'm worried about their ability to comprehend what we're talking about.
Right.
Like you meet with them, you spend 45 minutes explaining their plan to them. They're like, okay. And then a week later they call back and they don't remember a single thing you said. They're like, I don't know. You signed me up. We dealt with this the other day. I helped one of our new agents sell a policy.
Yeah.
Plan had a $5,000 MOOP, Advantage plan. We explained in detail what the MOOP was, very simply. But she wasn't paying attention. She's looking at her phone. She's looking at her watch. I could have said anything. She wouldn't have listened. She signed up for the plan. A week later, she calls back. She's like, I was looking through my book and saw I have a $5,000 deductible. I'm like, no. I'm like, let's go through this again. So we explained to her. And then she's like, oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, that sounds much better. So like a client like that, I would not even dare trying a high deductible plan with because you need a client that's relatively sharp and healthy. I think those are going to be your two criteria. And then, of course, like you said, if you don't have a lot of Medicare Advantage options in an area, that can be attractive as well, because there's just not as many options. It might be the best of few options.
Lower premium for seniors who need a cheaper option for their monthly payment. Devil's advocate, if I was to say, what's the biggest con against a high deductible plan, or what would potentially put a high deductible plan in the faux category, would definitely be the customer service aspect of the plan, right? I could totally see a senior signing up, and for whatever reason, despite how well you explain it, if they're thinking, I paid my premium, why am I getting this bill in the mail? Right?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Well, Mrs. Jones, like I said, you have to meet that deductible before all of your other costs is covered, and you haven't met it yet. So you're going to be paying. But I also see, it's the senior that comes to mind that I feel like would be perfect for this, is like that, and the retired engineer who like shows up with a spreadsheet, and he's got like, he already has like a matrix of every plan in his zip code, and he's just coming in to get that final help from you, the agent. That's the type of person that, I feel like would be potentially an excellent fit for a high deductible plan, because
I think
you do need to understand it.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I can hear you now too. All right. No, I totally agree, right? Like, I mean, these plans were made for those engineer type clients.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So it just depends, right? Like, not everybody's going to be a good candidate for a high deductible plan. I remember early on in my career, I was working with somebody that was turning 65, but he was talking to one or two other agents in the area. One of the agents pitched him a high deductible F at the time, and I just ripped it to shreds. Because I was like, oh, I'm like, you want to pay that big deductible if anything serious happens? I just ripped it to shreds. I'm like, and he ended up on a Medicare Advantage plan. He's still with us.
Yeah.
So like, you need a client that's going to have the comprehension of it. Like, because if not, someone like me is going to call up and be like, oh, you don't want that. And, if I see somebody in the field that's not an engineer type, that's on a high deductible plan, I kind of see blood in the water. I'm like a shark. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm swimming. I'm like,
here's the AI photo for the day. Christian hunting high deductible plans.
I honestly think the biggest obstacle is having a client understand it, right?
Yeah.
And understand it long enough to where they're not just going to flip with another agent.
And, well, here's the other concern I have as we're talking about, I'm thinking is like, how many agents out there are pivoting to this plan just to try to undercut on premium?
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Probably a lot. Like, again, it depends on the situation, right? If I'm talking to Mary and Mary's concerned about her long-term health, maybe she's healthy right now. We all have clients like this, right? She's healthy right now, but she's concerned she might not be. She's down the road, she's on a high deductible plan. What I would attack it with, if I was running into that and going to battle with another agent, gladiator style, I would say, well, Mary, for $1,200 more a year, you could get a plan that doesn't make you pay this $3,000 deductible if you were chronically ill.
Yeah.
It's the same plan. It's just you're not responsible for that. So what you're paying for is more security, right? Like, that's an argument that can be used against the high deductible plans that is very effective with a senior. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
What's the likelihood of them actually hitting their deductible? Who's to say? But the possibility of it can be used against you, right? So like, that's why I feel like it's got to be the right client. I really feel like it's got to be the right client, somebody that's going to have a good understanding of it, certainly somebody that's healthy. And if it truly is a good fit for somebody in a particular area, I think it can be a winner.
the analogy on the final expense side with this product, I feel like it's similar to if you come across a graded product in the field, and if that didn't get explained properly, right? Graded products, typically they don't pay out in the first 2 years, or if they do pay out, it's only a portion, right? Or sometimes they only return the premiums back. So, coming across that policy in the field and being able to be like, well, Mrs. Jones, I don't think the agent explained it to you, right? You got taken advantage of. And I could see that same scenario with a high deductible plan if the senior doesn't really understand it. So I think I love the concept behind these high deductible plan Gs, especially. There is a question here on the stream that maybe you kind of touched on this earlier, but this one's from YouTube from Rick. What are your thoughts on the innovative Plan G with Physicians Mutual? You want to touch on that before we get to the top of the hour here?
Well, I'm no Andrew Saul, but I love Physicians Mutual. I think they should be in the mix on all of your Med Supp portfolios if it's in your area. I know it's not a Med Supp product that's available in every area. I know they couldn't get into California, aka Nazi Germany, for the DOI. So like if you're in California, you're not going to be able to sell it because it's not there. So like if it's available in your area, I think it's a great plan. The thing is the idea of the innovative is it's a high deductible G for 3 years at a reduced price, not as reduced as a regular high deductible G, but reduced from a regular G. So it's a high deductible G for the first 3 years at a reduced price. Once they get 3 years into it, the high deductible falls off and it becomes a regular plan G at the reduced price. There's nothing quite like that. It also positions it in a way, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel for Mrs. Jones. If you can just get 3 years, they also will do something to where they'll let the client move from a high, the innovative G to the regular G. If they're willing to pay the higher premium, they'll let them do it at any point with no health questions, no underwriting. And that's very unique as well. So I love it. It's not going to be exactly priced the same everywhere. So it kind of depends on your specific market, on if it's a good starting out premium. But I think it's a really unique, creative plan that, again, they have a patent on. Nobody else can offer it. You're never going to see it with another carrier. The first time I met Andrew Saul and he did a training for our team, our private training for our office to kind of get us up to speed. And since we've become an FMO, direct contract with Physicians Mutual, but he said, he's like, you've been told Medicare supplement plans are standardized, you've been lied to, and you've been lying to your clients all these years. And I'm like, pfft, pfft. But in a way it's true because the patent Med Supp, nobody has it, only they have it.
Yeah.
So I love the product.
In theory, couldn't they license that out? In theory,
I don't know. I mean, nobody has.
I know, but I'm just curious. Like, you have the patent, so they can't copy your process. But I wonder if they could be like, we'll charge you a licensing fee. You can use our process. It's so amazing. I love it. I think I love seeing innovation of any kind, and I think innovation in this space that hasn't really changed in a big way for a long time is really cool to see, and I hope we see more of it. I'm a huge fan of it. So we are at top of time, and being that we are in the second day of pre-AEP, I want to be very respectful of your time and everyone's time. Mr. Brindle, why don't you take it away and start with your final thoughts on today's episode 163 of the 7 Figures or Bust podcast, high deductible Med Supp plans, friend or foe?
So my ultimate answer is friend. A good friend at that, a friend that you go to lunch with, maybe have a barbecue with, sit around your, fire pit in your backyard that I haven't turned on all year that I really need to get out there and use. And high deductible Med Supp, high deductible Med Supp plans, again, right? Friend, but not a fit for everybody. Just be careful. Make sure that the client again, right, it is a good plan for them, right? Health-wise, it aligns with where they're at, but also you feel like they're going to be able to comprehend it, right?
Yes.
I think those would be my big two for the majority of it. But I think overall friend, and it provides a very unique, solid option for many agents in a lot of areas.
I love it. I would agree with you. Friend for sure. Friend of the pod, high deductible plans. It's one of those things in my mind. It's when it's a right fit for the right client, it's a great fit. That's kind of my mindset as we've kind of torn this apart. I think that you have to be mindful of who you're offering a high deductible plan to, because for the exact reasons we got into just a moment ago, the last thing you would want is to offer a high deductible plan to someone who gets confused and then they come back into your office, super upset because they just misunderstood how the plan works. So I think it's a great option, though, something that every agent should have in their toolbox as they're out selling, especially this AEP. And again, this is day 2 of Medicare Supplement Awareness Month. We are trying to save the Supps. We want the depreciating, just like you heard in the video from Christian earlier, the depreciating market share. We're trying to reverse course on that. So
yes,
stay tuned. We've got a lot more coming on Medicare supplement plans right here on the podcast at Lead Heroes. Someone asked on the stream, I want to clarify this really fast too. What's the giveaway? The giveaway this month is we're going to be giving away 500 Medicare supplement leads from Lead Heroes. That's 100 every Friday. There's 5 Fridays in October. And guess what? Tomorrow's the first Friday. So if you haven't already watched and commented, you don't have to watch the entire episode even, but we have 4 streams now. This is our 4th stream of the week. If you can believe it, it's Thursday already. If you go back and comment on each video that we did, that gives you 1 entry into the giveaway. And then we will be giving away 100 Medicare supplement leads from Lead Heroes tomorrow. And if you don't win, or if you need leads right away, don't wait. Take advantage of the $19 leads. You can save $630 or more, depending on how many you purchase. Minimum order of 30. Head over to leadheroes.com. Those are my final thoughts.
Appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. Great episode 163. High deductible Med Supp plans, friend or foe. If you guys like this friend or foe type theme, let us know. We'll definitely run it back with some other things. I think it's hilarious, personally. And make sure to give us
Christian Brindle, friend or foe.
You could put anything in there. Lead Heroes, $19 leads. Friend or foe.
Friend or foe.
Make sure to give us a like, comment, subscribe, 5-star review, whatever the platform of your choice that you consume today's show will allow you to do. And we'll be back next time with another episode. Here's to your massive success and happy October, my friends. See you next time. Get your $19 Med Supp leads. Save the Supps.
Save the Supps.